Hey guys, Devin with ReefDudes, and today we're doing a bit of a reef spotlight and taking a look at Jordan's 92-gallon corner bow front. It's actually pretty cool because most bow fronts are only flat, so this one's actually in the corner, which gives the tank a lot of depth and gives it a really cool look. Hey guys, Devin with ReefDudes, and today we're taking a bit of a tank spotlight, taking a look at Jordan's tank. So he previously had a little nano tank, then he went up to a 60-gallon. And then a couple months ago now, we upgraded to this nice 90-gallon bow front. So Jordan, do you want to tell us a little bit about your tank?
Alright, so here is a 92-gallon. I'm running the Ecotech Radions. These are G2s. And those are on their regular kind of A, B plus schedule from what I remember. In the tank, I've got mostly SPS. I've got a couple of anemones. I've got clownfish, tangs, also common community fish. Nothing serious, nothing crazy, nothing that's going to eat my corals. I take the tank more for the corals than I do the fish at this point. The tank itself is built on a custom stand that I made as I bought the tank. It's running a 30-gallon sump with Chaeto reservoir and also a DIY algae turf scrubber. So a DIY algae turf scrubber. And yeah, things have been going pretty well. I light the sump with LED lighting. I light my tank with LED lighting. And everything else seems to be going pretty good. Tank's growing well. Corals look pretty happy. I've had a few things die off and moves and tank changes and things like that. But so far right now at this point, pretty good.
So what all do you do for dosing and maintenance, and what's your kind of schedule look like with the tank?
So for dosing and maintenance, I run one of those Jubeo DP4 dosing pumps, and with that I run calcium and alkalinity, magnesium, and about 50 to 60 mils of each per day.
Alright Jordan, so why don't you tell us what you got going on with your filtration department?
Okay, so right there you can see the DP4, that's the Jubeo doser, running calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium. The big humongous jug that's really in the way, that is my auto top off. It's a very DIY simple process with a float valve, and that is just a simple way to do it. Pretty fail safe in the sense that you're not going to necessarily have overflows, and if there is one, it's not 40 gallons of water into your floor.
So you got your DIY LG scrubber in the back. Has it been working out pretty well?
Working good. Right now I've been trying a new light that I got off Amazon that is a LED grow light. More of the red spectrum than it is the white spectrum. Seems to be doing okay. I'm not thoroughly impressed, but we'll see how things go. And then on top, that's my little Chaeto chamber, and that's running the Fluval C LEDs. Just I got those from somebody cheap, and they're just what works.
Sounds good. And you got your little skimmer.
Yeah.
That looks like which skimmer is that one?
That is a CAD light skimmer actually. It actually works pretty good. It's up to 100-gallon rating, so we're just kind of just keeping it up. I would probably get something bigger, but it was given to me, so I'm not complaining. It works good.
The price is right.
That's right.
And it's full of skimming. It's nice and dark,
so
it looks
working.
like it's doing a great job.
Yeah, it works. And yeah, it's a disaster. My apologies, everybody. But the one thing that I also would suggest is when you're doing tanks, sumps are pretty important. I ran it without one for a long time, and it was fine. Things were, thriving still, and everything was okay. But when it comes to sumps, making a big sump, make it bigger than you need, if you can allow the space for it, giving yourself that extra room so that if there is ever like a power outage or anything like that, that the water's not going to overflow and be a problem in your tank or in your floor. I think we've probably all been there where there's water on your floor all of a sudden and you're freaking out, right?
Oh, that's happened more than once for me.
Yeah, me too. So that's the reason why my tank's in the basement, because I've had too many water flows upstairs.
Gotta keep the wife happy.
Yep. For flow, as you can kind of see there, if you just pan up a little bit, you can see that we've got as of today, that's the Jubeo CP40, and that's a cross flow wave pump. And then we've also got a Jubeo WP25 on the side, just giving us that random wave.
Well, your tank depth's looking good. You got tons of great coral growth, tons of color in this tank. Absolutely love the depth that you get from the bow front. It just makes it look so deep, which gives a whole new perspective.
Yeah, that was one of my concerns with getting the bow front was is it going to look good or is it going to make things look magnified or weird? But no, I actually really enjoy the depth.
So do you have a favorite fish or favorite coral in your tank?
Favorite coral. Okay, up to the top right, just in front of that Montipora, there's that one there. It's green and it's got blue tips. I don't know how your lighting can see. That would probably be one of my favorite corals. One of those ones I picked up for pretty cheap, and it completely changed its color on me and looks awesome now.
Beautiful. I love when that happens.
Yep. Cheap coral.
Yep. How about favorite fish?
The fish I've had the longest I'm going to go with is probably my one clownfish there that's in the frog spawn.
Yep.
That guy I've had for probably 4 years now.
Nice.
And
first fish?
Yeah, one of the first fish.
Still with you.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Still with me. Those two clownfish are actually kind of a neat one. They are actually from a breeder in Florida, and they are called bullet hole clownfish.
Oh, very cool.
Won them in a contest. I've got 2 of them there.
Nice.
My hopes is that one day they breed, but I don't know how they're doing with 4 clownfish and being confused on who's who. But they're really, really neat looking designer clownfish.
Excellent. So no issues having 2 different pairs in the same tank?
I was worried about that when I combined my tanks, and I was scared they're going to probably kill each other, but no, everything's been okay. They share anemones, they go back and forth from coral to an anemone. Nobody seems to get upset about anything, and yeah, there's harmony in the tank, thank goodness.
No, that's awesome. That's really good to hear. So I noticed your bubble tip split. You have 2 now instead of 1.
Yeah, that literally happened just last week.
Excellent.
So hopes is that we give the clowns a little more chance to host and not be all fighting over one.
Any other future plans for the tank?
No.
Leave it alone and keep it stable.
Yeah, no, we said that a few times.
There's always room for one more coral, right?
Like you said earlier, I went from a 5-gallon fluval spec and...
Oh, I didn't know about the spec.
Yeah, that was there for a couple months. And then went to the 16-gallon, that's Innovative Marine. And then went to a 65, and then I went from a 65 plus a 34, and then from the 34 and 65 into this one, 92.
Excellent.
So finally have everything once together.
I think I may even have a few pictures from the tank moves, so I'll see if I can pick them up later.
Good plan.
Yeah, it was a fun day. I was actually surprised. We got it put together pretty darn quick.
Yeah, it came together and the rock work worked.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was worried about some avalanches, but everything else seemed to be okay. Jordan
has one of the golden touches with rock work. This is, for the most part, done in the first try of placing rocks.
It was the first try.
Yeah. It turned out extremely well considering.
We got lots of caves you can kind of see down in here. Well, of course, the tank's going to be right in the way. There's lots of caves in there, right in the middle back. It's lots of flow.
Huge openings. It's it's just a dark cave on here, but it goes back pretty far, which is pretty cool.
I mean, one tip I give to new people setting up rock work is make sure that you kind of have, small points touching your gravel. Give yourself lots of caves, lots of flow. Think of water needing to get around everything.
Is there any other tips you give for a new reefer?
Know that it's going to cost more than you think.
Always does.
And it always does. But having a good supply of friends and a good supply of people who know a little bit more, especially if you're starting out, makes a big difference. Keep watching these channels. I mean, we're going to give lots of tips, and I know that ReefDudes has got lots of good stuff coming out. So.
Now, you also have your own saltwater YouTube channel.
Yeah, and that's ReefGuy92. I'm not the crazy ReefGuy92. I'm the more normal, modest one. There are 2 of us.
I actually noticed that the other day.
Yeah. Might have to change the name. But I've got all my progression of reef, so that's literally got from the fluval spec all the way up to the 92. So you guys can kind of see what's changed, what's happened over the years.
I hope you guys enjoyed this look at Jordan's, aka ReefGuy92's tank. And if you liked it, hit that like button and let us know. Otherwise, check out Jordan's channel below in the link in the description. And be sure you're subscribed to stay up to date to more great videos and tank tours with ReefDudes.